Hello YouTube, and today I'm going to be reviewing a Patrick Troughton story, The Evil of the Daleks. Now of course this is the soundtrack edition, but we do have episode 2 of this story because it's 7 parts long, and that is available in the Lost in Time box set, which I have reviewed if you want to check it out. And so yeah, before I start, I have actually done a review of this, but I didn't really like it because I rewatched it and I thought it was pretty terrible a review. Basically it's the same with the Macra Terror original review because I didn't really like them at the time, so I revisited them, and so you could call this like a special edition review if you would like. And so yeah, let's review the story. It's kind of like it's not as annoying as a Stephen Moffat timey-wimey sort of story. It like you go through different stages, and because it's 7 parts, it's like you go from first you are in Gatwick Airport, because this took off straight after the Faceless ones, which I might review at some point. Because in the Faceless ones, they arrive on Gatwick Airport, and then at the end of that story, I think it gets driven away by like a truck, and then they're basically trying to track it down, and it ends up in like an antique shop, and it sort of kicks off from there, and then they go to like a manor house, which is what's his name? Victoria Waterfield's father, who becomes the companion in the story. Well, not her father, but Victoria Waterfield. They go to his house where they are holding his daughter prisoner, and he is like doing everything the Daleks tell him to keep his daughter alive. And then eventually, when the Doctor and Jamie discover that the Daleks are involved in this, the Daleks soon kidnap Jamie, and they use him to test the human factor compared to the Dalek factor to see what weaknesses the human factor have. And eventually the Daleks do capture the Doctor, but and they force him to help the Daleks, so they can find every single weakness which is involved in the human factor, and so they can become practically invincible. And yeah, but the Doctor has implanted the human factor into 3 Daleks. So, and then he gives them names, which are Delta, Alpha, and Omega, and they basically now have emotions, and of course that's one thing a Dalek can't really have, and of course when the other Daleks find out about this, they destroy the Daleks. As you can see on the front cover, there's a Dalek that's been destroyed, and I imagine that's probably one of the human factor Daleks that the Doctor has implanted. And yeah, it's a really good story, and of course, at the end of episode 5 and then episode 6 and 7, you see or hear the Emperor Dalek for the first time, and there's a brilliant line in it which goes, "So we meet at last," which is a line of the Doctor, and it's because I just love the script for this. I think the person who wrote it, is it Ian Stuart Black? It doesn't say. No, it doesn't. But yeah, it's a great Dalek story. But it is 7 episodes long, so. But I don't think it drags at all. I don't want to watch it. Well, listen to it in one go because it is quite long. But it doesn't drag that much really. I mean, I wouldn't say there was any episodes which could have been cut out. I suppose it could have been a 6-part, but you'd have to get all the sort of storyline fit into 7 episodes, so I suppose it makes sense to have it as a long story. And this story is Blakey Boy's Cool's favourite story. It's come to me that I probably would say the same thing. It's probably my favourite story now, because the first time I watched it, I thought it was good, but I didn't think it was fantastic. But then I re-listened to it a few days ago, and I really, really enjoyed the story. It's a cracking, good Dalek adventure, and if you've seen my top 5 Dalek stories, this is number 1. But I'd love to hear your top 5 Dalek stories if you're going to do one, because I don't mind you taking the idea, because I'm interested to see what other Daleks the Dalek stories you like, because that'd be cool. As for the Daleks themselves in the story, they're probably at their best, really. They are, because they actually do physically torture one of the characters in the story. I think it is Victoria Waterfield's father that they torture, because he's looks like he's going to die any second, like throughout the whole story, but eventually he does die. So, and yeah, then Victoria becomes a companion with the second Doctor and Jamie, and I think Victoria is probably one of my top female companions of Doctor Who. I think she's really good, because all the second Doctor companions are great, and the second Doctor is just a great Doctor overall. I mean, all of his stories from the start of season 4 all the way to the end of season 6, they are really good, and hopefully one day we'll have them recovered, because I think only 6 of them are on DVD, and that's including the animated stories, but we've still got the Ice Warriors to come in August the 26th, so that'll be good, and the Moon Base in October, so that will be even better. So that means we'll have 8 Patrick Troughton stories on our shelf, which would be great, because I want to see more of Patrick Troughton as Doctor. I mean, the soundtracks are brilliant, but yeah, I'm sure the DVDs will be much better. So let's take a look at the cover of this excellent audio. We've got top left, we've got the Emperor Dalek. I suppose you could call it a prop if you like. We've got the Doctor Who Paul McGann logo in centre stage, Patrick Troughton on top left, and bottom right we've got Jamie and Victoria, and just below them we've got a destroyed Dalek, and then in the middle there we've got I'm not sure if you'll be able to make it out on the camera, because you might mistake it for a shadow, but it's a Dalek with a black head, like a black dome, which I have got an action figure of for some reason, but oh well. And we've got one of the other Daleks there, and so we've also got the side, and on the back, like I said, with the Macra Terra, you've got the blurb and stuff, which I can't really be bothered to read. It's a 4 CD set. We've got CD 1, which I think contains episodes 1 to 5, and then CD 2. Well, CD 1's there behind the booklet, and then CD 3 is there, and you got the bonus disc. So overall, I'd probably rate The Evil of the Daleks a 10 out of 10. It's probably the best Dalek story ever. If you haven't heard it already, I recommend you go out and buy it. Well, because this version is part of the Lost TV episode set. So if you haven't seen this or heard the story yet, buy it. And if you haven't watched the second episode, watch it. So buy the Lost in Time box set. And so yeah, this pretty much concludes my review of The Evil of the Daleks. I hope you guys think it's better than the first one I did, because I didn't really like that one at all. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Bye for now.